how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, twin time today for this video here. Josh Duggar. Oh man. So this one was highly requested from y'all, highly requested. So we're gonna try to dive in today. I don't know if this is gonna be demonade. I don't know what you're allowed to say on here. I don't know if YouTube's gonna take it down, if YouTube's gonna take the funding away. I don't know how it's gonna work with this video. So just throwing that out there. I'll put it in a pinned comment if it ends up getting demonetized, but hopefully, fingers crossed, y'all. So anyway, heavily requested video. We're gonna dive into this one today, and we've got a whole list of questions that we're gonna read off in a second to guide our focus of all the things we're kind of curious about with this. Before I get into anything, I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and on these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful. So if you're down with that, join the family. We'd love to have you here. And yeah, get the twin sitting over here today.
Oh, I have to wave up
higher.
higher.
She has to wave up higher so it can be seen. We got the microphone down here, so you're probably not going to be able to see it, and hopefully you're going to be able to hear us. This is the best we can do with the audio. It's on up 100%, so
I'm a shouter. I shall be heard.
yes, so apologies for any sound issues, doing the best we can with it. But yeah, we're gonna dive on into this. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Click the notification bell just to make sure you're not gonna miss things. And then also, if you want to be a member of the Perk Squad, then you can go into the description box below and find the link there, or the little blue join button if it's there by the subscribe button, and you can get 5 perks of the Perk Squad, one of which being a video shout out. So shout out to you, Elena Morales. Hello, shout out to you. Thank you for being a part of the Perk Squad, and excited to have you here. And I think I should also go ahead and mention everything is all alleged. All alleged? Just our interpretation. Pardon the interruption, percolators. Summer merch is here. What? Look at these tank tops in different colors. Got your all alleged, how you perking context. We got them here. Got some mugs in different bright colors, and the tank tops in different bright colors. Got unisex styles, women's styles, and don't worry, for everyone still liking the old stuff we always had before, we still got that too. All of them that you can see right here. Right here. So go to my website in the description box below and click on the merch tab. It'll take you to my Teespring shop. Okay, just our interpretation here for this, because I know that this is a very sensitive thing, and of course we couldn't get started if it weren't to say trigger warning. If anything pertaining to SA, wink wink, or CP, wink wink, aka sexual, sexual abuse. trying to say it in ways I'm allowed to.
Can you do it in Pig Latin?
And then I know I might do it in Pig Latin.
Actual say abuse.
Yeah. And then child PORN.
Yeah.
for CP. If those are topics that you just really cannot handle, then you might want to sit this one out today. Just throwing that out there. We understand this is going to be a sensitive topic for folks, so you might have to sit yourself out. So we're gonna dive into this, and we have some questions that are gonna kind of guide how we go about this. I'm about to take a look at the questions here. All right, so We've got questions.
Questions. We got questions.
We gotta ask the questions, and we'll see what we can get through. We'll see what the cards show from these. But this is just to give us a general guideline of all the types of stuff we'd be curious about.
Yes. So I was curious about, like, are there more cases out there than we know about? Like, so is there still some stuff hidden in terms of even just bare numbers? Because, you know, a lot of the times they'll have stuff coming forward and then you come to find out later they were still squelching info. So are there more than we know about? What is his thoughts about his own behavior? Like, I know that he's aware that, like, this is frowned upon. But does he even really realize that there's an issue here, that he's in the wrong? Like, just kind of his thoughts about it. Also, any factors contributing to his behavior, like, was he SA'd himself as a kid? Because sometimes perpetrators were victims at one point. Just saying, we're not going into rights and wrongs or anything. Just saying, I'm curious. And also, like, is this an impulse that was something, you know, like maybe born into, or is this a learned behavior from seeing it from elsewhere? Because that sometimes can be a contributor. What about the impact of his fundamentalist upbringing, or impact of filming and his celebrity status? Because that's a power differential that sometimes people have, that they're not as, you know, they have the luxury of not being aware of that power. Will he ever come clean and expose his own truth? What are his next actions gonna be? Is it possible for him to be rehabilitated? I'm also curious about his parents, his siblings, and his wife Anna, all of their perspectives, such as, did the parents know? Yes, I'm going into a hunty. Did his parents know that anything was going on before Josh confessed to them? Like, was this something that they were already aware of, but they claimed they just knew about it after he came clean? Or did they already kind of know? Also, how do his parents feel about their own response with how they've handled the situation? Because obviously they've come under some fire. They've been scrutinized by how they've handled it, or lack thereof. Like, so how do they feel about themselves? Can they even sleep at night? What are their parents' next actions with him in terms of, like, are they going to be supportive? Are they going to denounce it? Because right now we know where they stand. Did his siblings know? I know some of his siblings had actually been SA'd by him, but what about the rest of the siblings? Was this kind of like hush-hush, or was this kind of like actually the whole family was in the know about this? How do his siblings feel about him? What are his siblings' next actions towards the case? And then Anna, did she know about this before they got hitched? Before they were married? Was this something that she already knew about? Or did the family keep that quiet and she got into this marriage without even realizing his past? And then, what are her feelings about Josh, about the parents, about the siblings? And what are her next actions? Is she going to continue to stick by him? Is she kind of delusional about all this and, like, pretending like, oh, it didn't happen? Or is she, you know, being like, well, I'm the wife and the wife's duty is to stand by her man, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, the trial future cast. What's coming up with the trial? What might we expect to see shake out in terms of that? So
we have an awful lot of questions here that we were wondering. Don't know how much the cards will give us. As we've already said before on this channel many times, but I think it bears repeating. If anything comes up in the cards, even if it's super sensitive or taboo to say, or an unpopular opinion, I'm gonna say what I see. But at the same time, if there are certain things we're curious about, but it's not coming up in the cards, and it just keeps not coming up in the cards, I can't squeeze shit out of this that we're not meant to know. There's like a, what do you want to call it? Like a firewall built into this almost, where we get what we're allowed to get through spirit, and that's all. We're not getting anything extra than what we're permitted to be able to get. So can't squeeze something else out of it. But I think it goes without saying that this is going to be a two-part video, a part 1 and a part 2, because I don't think anybody in their right mind thinks that we have the ability to go through all of this in one sitting. So this is going to be a two-parter. Obviously, part 1 here being on my channel that y'all are watching now, and then part 2 over on her channel that you can watch later. And her channel might be a little bit more lax on the censorship, because whenever you're a monetized channel, if you get demonetized, people are like, why do you care? Well, first of all, do you work a job and be okay with not making a paycheck for the time you put in? Probably not. Some of us have to think about that if we want to eat and keep a roof over our heads. But then second of all, if you get enough hits to your channel, YouTube will consider your channel unsafe, and it will make it where you're basically shadow banned or people can't see your channel or whatever. So you don't want to be doing saying the kinds of things that get you demonetized, because after enough of those, your channel disappears. Basically, it goes into the ether where people aren't going to be seeing it, and no funding opportunities with it and all of that. And so just for people wanting to be able to keep their shit, if they want to be able to keep it, then you got to be careful. So you got to play by the rules. You're on the platform, they give you a platform, and then what they want back from you is for you to play by their rules. So that's what we're having to do on my channel. We don't have to worry about that on her channel yet.
I'm the Wild Wild West.
So she's the Wild Wild West. Apparently we get away with some more stuff, but yeah, all this is all alleged, just our interpretation. And we figured that I would just start off kind of just checking out what the cards are just wanting to start with, based on us knowing these are the things that we're interested in, and just seeing where that takes us from there. So we're just gonna jump right on into this. If you don't know anything about the Duggar family, all I'm gonna say is look it up. The 19 kids and counting from TLC. Josh Duggar's one of the oldest kids, if not the oldest, or something like that. You just need to look it up. We're not gonna have time to say a whole lot of backstory in here. And in fact, with it being so much in the news right now, I imagine most people have already watched something from the news and know a little bit of a backstory before we go into this. So there we go. Let's see here. Get some cards down here. It's going to probably look all blown out until I get all of them up here, and then the color will even out a bit. See? Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so let me see if I want any context on any of this stuff right now. Before I even do get any context, I think I'm just going to dive straight in with some of this. So from what I'm seeing here, what they're pointing out to me, with this Four of Pentacles upright, we're trying to keep major control over this. I mean, look at this guy gripping this coin so hard. It's like we are really trying to keep control over this. This is a serious situation. And remember, the Fool card for me stands for youth. And I have to say youth because I can't say some other words that stand for young people, but this is a card that stands for them, and it's in the reverse position, so it's in a position that is unsafe and not okay for them. This right here with the Page of Swords says new information is going to be coming out about this. So of all the things that we already have laid out, of all the things that people already feel like they know, or that is already alleged, more will be coming out. So what we already know just scratches the surface. I'm getting my receipts, Whitney, from my Peter Mon. I'm getting my receipts card here with my Eight of Wands, and this is talking about there are going to be receipts to come forward. There's going to be things that would be considered better than just circumstantial evidence, like actually something substantial that people can go off on right here that's going to be presented. So when I'm seeing these things here, with the Page of Wands in reverse and the Chariot card in reverse, the Chariot card in reverse is like a we don't go here kind of card here, pumping the brakes. So when I'm seeing this be a hard stop. And so whatever has been going on has hit the brakes. The airbag has deployed. We've got craziness going on right now, and this is showing it. And so for people who are worried, what if this is kind of brought up but nothing is really done about it, and it's just a little slap on the wrist, and famous people get to go about their way and whatever. I'm not seeing that with this card. I'm not seeing that this is going to be just a wrist slap. This is looking legit and serious and extensive. So just putting that out there. So I can keep going more with this, or where you want?
I was gonna just say, like, for me looking at it, and it definitely dovetails with what you're saying, like seeing it kind of like this, reading it down this way, because both of these cards for me as a reader, any pages to me are also like youthful cards as well. So you're seeing this kind of a youthful thing. Both of these being, like where like the victimization type angle, is that a bad word?
Yeah.
Okay.
With that V word.
Okay. I have to check in because I'm not used to it. Okay. But anyway, this is like upset. This is not the power position
have to, like,
be in.
do stupid stuff like the people who were done wrong, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You said them wrong.
Like you just have to.
We'll figure it out. We'll swing with it. But both of these are those kind of youthful things. And anytime you're seeing the reversals, that's the upset. That's not the power position to be in. And so you are seeing that this definitely is trying to squelch information, but it doesn't matter how much you try to keep that lock tight, it's coming out. It's like a dam burst. And this information is coming out about this disenfranchised situation here. Definitely online information that has anything to do with any kind of social media, is any kind of stuff like that, the dark web, all that stuff is definitely going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out in a way where I feel like people are going to be able to inform themselves about it if they wanted to, but I would also caution you not to search out information like that, because you don't want to be put in the crosshairs of a situation like that, and frankly it's gross, so just don't. But this, to me, not only is it like this is a halt, like exactly what you're saying, I think that the book is going to be thrown in a way. Like, it does feel like you're not going to be getting out of this easy, not lightly. I really don't feel that. But because this also is a card of like not being victorious. Upright, it is a victory card. Determined, willpower, yes. And to have it being the reverse, it really does feel like womp womp loser, like you're getting that vibe really strongly here. And so and to me, that feels really strong coming from here. I also feel like another feeling coming off of this card, not just the youthful energy, this does feel like somebody, perhaps even siblings, that turned their alliance shift, because this kind of can feel like to me where it's like people start coming out with information that's not good for him, that contributes to this information coming out, that puts a stop on it. So it does feel like, this is a confidant who has betrayed confidence. But in this case, a betrayal of his confidence would be a win.
A good thing.
Win. So, but that's a vibe.
Yeah. Yep. Let's pull some more on this. Is there a certain direction we want to go down?
Yeah, because I'm definitely curious. I'm curious about, are there more cases than we know about?
Yeah.
Is there something where you would say?
I feel like already with this kind of made me feel like yes, but I just want to confirm.
Same.
I just
both of those two cards, the Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands,
makes
they
me
both
feel like
more.
that there's more than what. If we're doing the twin thing, sorry, we get to where we do what people call twin speak around here, where they're like, stop with the twin speak, where we're talking over each other, we're both talking at the exact same time, but it's because what she's saying to me is automatically going through, and what I'm saying back is automatically going through, so we don't need to pause. And the thing is, I don't do that with anybody else. If anybody else is talking over me, or people are talking over each other, I'm like, stop, and I can't handle it. But with her, that's how we do. And so if we do that in this video, sorry, it's the twin thing, it just happens. Anybody else on here have twins, know of twins, are a twin, that y'all get it, yeah. Sound off below.
So let's see, more cases than we know.
I want to know. Let's see.
It definitely feels like it's already leaning that way.
It definitely does feel.
Oh
man, here we go.
You've got two females reversed.
Yeah. And so, okay, so here's the thing. From what I'm getting so far, I'll say my bit and then I'll pass it to you. But what I'm seeing so far, I gotta quit fucking with the cards here. I'm like, make it perfect, but it's not gonna be perfect. So what I'm seeing here, in terms of what we don't yet know of, I'm seeing at minimum 2 females who would currently be over the age of 18, one person who could be a female or a male, but they are a minor. They are under the age of 18, whoever this child is. And I am seeing that there is in some way potential for groups. when we say groups, I don't know if this is, for example, say there are films where on these films they put multiple young folks together and make them do things with each other or to each other or against each other or stuff like that would be a part of this, those kind of things. Think of when you have situations where there's more than one individual involved, that he would be doing things as a group. So I'm seeing group work here. We're going to put it that way. At least one other youth in a physical sense, not just watching something, but in a physical sense that we don't yet know about, and at least two other older females that I don't know if they were older at the time when it happened, but they're older now, over the age of 18 now, and these would be people who have not yet had justice. So there would be no, convictions or things like that that would show, yes, this is confirmed, he did this or whatever. So I don't know if there are people alleging things. Let's just throw that out there here too. To prepare for this, I pulled up one video, literally on YouTube. I typed in Josh Duggar and pulled up one video that felt like it would be informative, just to get a bit of a backstory of what's being alleged. I don't know anything past that. I don't know the meat of their family. I don't know the nitty gritty of his past or all this kind of stuff.
Past. It was going right there.
The meat and the taters. It was going there and I missed it. I fuck the taters. I missed the taters. But yeah, so I don't know the meat and the taters behind this. So we're just going off of the surface level stuff that we do know. So if any of this is already out, well, here it is in the cards, so we're seeing it here for the first time ourselves. But I am definitely seeing that. And then y'all know, sometimes when we get this visual here with this strength card, we're talking about people who are trying to wrangle the beast. Sometimes we're getting the shut your mouth, here, let me close it, shh, kind of a thing here. So there's a lot of different dynamics that we're seeing involved in this kind of stuff. Looking real sketch here. I'm gonna pass it over to you.
No, I mean, I'm right there, like, obviously. I'm right there with you. I'm sitting here being like, yes. Because, yeah, I definitely think that of these two women, because I agree with you that this one is one that I think we will hear about her perhaps first, because this is someone who I think would end up feeling like outraged about it and come forward in a way that would be a bit loud. And this would be someone who, when they come forward, this is going to be someone who's just been demoralized. Yeah, this is a demoralized person. Their confidence has been outright just shaken, obliterated by it. When I see this, I feel like also the infidelity type claims, because you know that he was on that website where it's basically you can have affairs with people, or Madison something, or
yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that. I know what it is.
Whatever.
Ashley, and then the word she said.
Okay, so
just
flip
in
it
case.
reverse. Okay, but yeah, I feel that about here, that there could be more information about those allegations and that involvement that has still yet to come forward, but that is not that's not as big of a deal.
Including some of the
it could. I know
and
that's
the thing
not
is, these
the main.
may overlap and they may not.
Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. I do think that is kind of overshadowed by the seriousness of the youth essay, because that's obviously way worse than consenting adults that just want to do the dirty outside of the marriage. Let's butt uglies together behind backs. Okay. Well, people are like, yeah, well, okay, whatever. Like, I can't respect it, but whatevs, Yeah. So, but that, I get kind of that vibe. But yeah, I do think a potential of this, not saying that it's gonna happen, because I definitely feel youth vibes about this, but there is a potential that we might see some kind of a weepy apologetic maneuver that I feel might be a bit of an emotional manipulation on his part, where it's like, the prepared statement, the PR thing, where it's like, woe is me, but this and this, but I'm so sorry because blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be something that doesn't land with people, because this is like, I'm not being receptive to this this, you're not going to break through and win this one with me because that's some BS. Because it does. It feels like the apology that is definitely written by someone else. And it's not landing. It's not coming through. Obviously, this is a situation where people are having to really have strength. This is a situation where somebody exercised power over them and manhandled in a way that was completely inappropriate. That's all over this card. So that's what I'm seeing here.
Yep, agreed. And even with this one over here kind of being like, you know, you don't get it. We're not connecting here. Yeah. You're not on the same page.
It's not a breakthrough. It's like you're not getting that eureka moment. There is a eureka moment to be had, and you are deaf, dumb, blind to it. It's not sinking in.
Which answers one of your questions about
like what does he think?
What is he thinking? Does he get it? Because like we were saying, obviously if he's hiding something, he knows legally what he's doing is not legally above standard. So legally he gets it, but internally, is it I get it and I feel ashamed, or is it they're really cramping my style here by making me do this, that? Mm-hmm. And when we're getting these kind of cards, it really does seem like you're cramping my style.
Yes, because this card lends itself to pathology, like you know, someone who's pathological, like as in like psychopathic. I'm not saying that he's a psychopath. I'm not saying he's a narcissist, but sometimes when you see the strength card and what it means is somebody is using their strength and their power to dominate somebody else and manipulate somebody else, then that is a bit of like a psychopathy type of a card. And this being like, yo, thick head, you just wired in a way where it's like you're never going to completely understand the impact of your actions. Yep. So this doesn't bode well in terms of a rehabilitative type of question either.
No,
it really doesn't.
It doesn't. So we're already answered some of these. Is there another one that we should go on and kind of
put it together? Put your cards together, girl. I got you.
Let's see.
I got you. I'm curious. Just curious about like the impact of like the fundamentalist upbringing and the celebrity status. Like so basically religion and fame. Is what kinds of impacts are these having on his? I guess his brainwaves.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, I already got thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm feeling some things.
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah, that one really did it for me. So there's a lot of different.
This is coming right back on out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things here, and there's probably there's so many things that I think that even if I say everything that I'm seeing, there will still be more, and she'll pick up on those so good. So we'll get it covered. But there's a lot here. So it does look like to me, again, all of this for us. Remember, all alleged, just our interpretations. Okay. This is like being sad and bummed out about things that have happened, things in the past that we can't say certain things that weren't good about certain relationships. And see, we get a relationship card here and a relationship card here, both talking about relationships, but we're talking about different dynamics around it. The Emperor card is often the father of the tarot, and being in the reverse. So there does, for me, I'm getting the word oppressive. There feels like there's some sort of an oppressive vibe here going on that starts with dad here, and it's like this has to be a certain way, this has to look a certain way, this has to pass the certain sniff test, and it feels very, very, again, remember we saw that Four of Pentacles early on about the control, feels very controlling and very like we've got to pass this stuff off this certain way. So to me, it does feel like on one hand there is this oppressive vibe of feeling boxed in, of everything has to go this exact certain specific way, and if it doesn't look this specific perfect way to people, then I get it behind closed doors kind of thing. And so it does to me look like there could have been some things that Josh would have gone through behind closed doors, and who knows, maybe his siblings too, but we're talking about him right now, to look the part a certain way in society and meet dad's standards with this. So I do see that. With the Page of Cups next to dad, this worries me. Again, remember our youth card here. This worries me that there could have been some sort of being exposed some kind of way. Now, I don't want to say, accuse dad of things. I don't want to accuse any specific people of things, but it makes it look like it wasn't just, one day, let me be curious and look at what this is going to be like for people. It, to me, from some of the things, especially up here that I'm seeing, kind of feels like, I have this shame and stuff for my own, abuse since we're doing the pig Latin, for my own stuff like that as a child, and I've got this rage within me, and so I just want to and just having that there kind of, that's like a lead in. I feel like there's a lead in there that comes from some sort of shame-based rage and anger that stems from some sort of oppression and stuff like that. So I do see that, and it could be that either, I don't know if I want to say something happened to him, but that he would have heard of, seen of, known of something that kind of help the trajectory of what his interests were, kind of mold the path of where they go down. So I'm just seeing a lot of different things, but let me just go ahead and put it over to you.
Like a clarifier on that to dig into the, like, where did you have essay done to you kind of thing. So we can look into that in a second. But like, I'm feeling the same thing with you, where it's like childhood kind of a thing, like what it felt like versus what it was like portrayed to reality as kind of a thing. So it's, it feels like, living in a situation where there's a lot more depression and a lot more isolation and loneliness in childhood than is something that people realize, because it's like, hey, you're famous, you're on TV, you're exposed, but it's like, no, there is limitations, like a very strict stranglehold on this that has this disharmony in the family. So it's like, on the surface, we want to paint it out as like, we've got all these morals, we've got all these values, ethics, and we're upstanding and yada, yada, yada. Behind closed doors, the modeling that's going on is sending a much different message, especially any kind of messaging that can come across as perhaps misogynistic or, anything like that would support the abuse going down. It doesn't feel like the modeling here came through in a way that was successful. It definitely looks like it backfired, because we're seeing such a limitation, such an over control happening, that this created this situation where it's like, I am so deprived, so emotionally neglected, so like lonely and disconnected from things, that the only way to break out from feeling out in the cold and this cold shoulder energy would be to do something that would be harmful. Like this, these people are battered. These people are not okay on this card.
Careful with the B word.
Okay. Yeah, I got Shiza. Shaw. These people are not okay. All right. So it does feel like, whether it was physically happening, which I think that there could be, with this being right above, strong-armed father.
I think there's physical, like this kind of stuff happening. Yes. But not, I don't know for sure yet if it's
the actual say.
Yeah.
But the physical, yes. In terms of like spare the rod, spoil the child kind of a thing. I'm definitely feeling these kinds of vibes where it's a constricting type of environment that just leads itself to, it's like if your youth was something that was essentially stripped from you, your youth, your innocence in that kind of a way, it does seem like it's setting up the pins, because so much is repressed and so much is damaged in that way that it's like, oh, but we're supposed to model this. This is supposed to be what it is. No, this is what reality is. This is what they want things to look like. This is what it really is. And that just feels like the climate here, which not, nobody's giving excuses or justifications, because I think he has adopted these excuses, justifications, rationalizations for his own behavior. And he's absorbed that, because we can't be seen as bad people. I'm a good person. But I'd like a clarifier on that one.
Yeah, let's just say where we're going with this.
Oh! Let the truth out!
Yeah, let the truth out. Oh, family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's definitely an expose about it. But let's see. Was this perfect family? No.
Devil card.
Yeah, we trying to be perfect, but we got devil coming out. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on now, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. So there was an environment not only that caused the shame-based rage, but also again, he was introduced to some things, some kind of a way, from what this looks like, allegedly, that helped him kind of go down the rabbit hole that he went down. Yeah. Whew, Lord, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, let's see more questions, because I'm mindful of the time here. We've been going for over a half hour, and I know we can do a part 2 as well for these things, but we can doing
we can make our part 2 that we can split into the part 2 now. That can be part 1. In part 2, we can ask about other people, since we've touched on Josh. Part 2 can be about the other people in his life, whether it be his parents, his siblings, Anna, his wife, and the Trial Future cast. Make that part 2.
So, if y'all want a private reading with me, look in the description box below, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, and you can get a private reading with me. And I'm saying all that to say that we're gonna scoot on over to part 2 over on her channel, because we've covered a lot, right, y'all? And we have a lot more to dig into, like she said, digging into other people who are involved and kind of what they're going through, what they think about it, what they feel about it, and then anything that we can pick up on that would be happening pre-trial, during trial, post-trial, if there will be a trial, or what, like all that kind of stuff coming up in part 2. So don't be a stranger. Come back and see me here, but first see us there. The channel will be linked in the description box below for Alma Redacted. And we'll talk at you in just a second over there. Bye, love you, minute. Bye, love you, minute. There we go. She's trying to do that.
What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my hands?
These hands.